Kaguya-hime, Japan, the moon princess raised on Earth. Long ago, hidden between peaceful mountains and quiet rivers, there stood a small Japanese village surrounded by endless bamboo forests. Every morning before sunrise, an elderly bamboo cutter walked silently through the mist carrying worn tools upon his shoulder. The forest was always calm. Only the sound of birds, moving leaves, and distant flowing water echoed beneath the morning light. But on one unforgettable day, the old man discovered something that would change his life forever. As sunlight slowly entered the forest, one bamboo stalk began glowing with a mysterious golden light. The bamboo cutter stepped closer carefully, his heart beating faster with every step. And when he cut the glowing stalk open, he froze in disbelief. Inside rested a tiny baby girl glowing softly like moonlight itself. The forest suddenly felt silent, as though even the wind had stopped to witness the miracle. The old man carried the mysterious child home beneath the gentle rain of evening. Inside their warm wooden house, his wife stared at the glowing baby with tearful eyes. For many years, the elderly couple had dreamed of having a child. And now, somehow, the heavens had placed one gently into their hands. They named her Kaguya. And from that night forward, the quiet countryside home became filled with warmth and happiness. As the seasons passed, Kaguya grew with impossible speed. Within only a short time, the tiny baby became a graceful young girl whose beauty seemed almost unreal. She spent her days playing beside flowers, rivers, and bamboo forests while sunlight danced softly through the countryside. Villagers often whispered that she did not seem completely human. But despite the mystery surrounding her, Kaguya's kindness made everyone love her deeply. During warm summer afternoons, Kaguya played beside the river with village children. Dragonflies floated above the water while distant wind bells echoed gently from nearby homes. The children laughed as they chased each other through shallow streams beneath the golden sky. And although Kaguya smiled with them, there were moments when her eyes drifted quietly toward the moon above, as though part of her heart already belonged somewhere far away. One evening during sunset, a young countryside boy named Takumi saw Kaguya standing beneath the glowing bamboo trees. The soft orange light moved through her long black hair while warm wind drifted across the fields. Takumi had never seen anyone like her before. Not because of her beauty alone, but because sadness quietly lived behind her gentle smile. From that evening onward, the two spent many peaceful days together beneath the skies of rural Japan. Kaguya and Takumi often walked beside rice fields during the quiet evenings. They listened to frogs beside the water, watched fireflies rise into the night, and shared stories beneath glowing lanterns. For Takumi, those moments felt endless. Simple countryside days slowly became memories he would carry forever. But while happiness surrounded them, something mysterious continued growing inside Kaguya's heart. A loneliness she could never fully explain. One morning inside the forest, the old bamboo cutter discovered glowing gold hidden inside another bamboo stalk. Then more appeared. Again and again. Soon, the elderly couple became wealthy beyond imagination. Their small countryside home transformed into a beautiful estate filled with silk, lanterns, and elegant decorations. But even surrounded by luxury, Kaguya's sadness only deepened. Because the closer she came to earthly happiness, the more distant she felt from the world she truly belonged to. As Kaguya's beauty became known across the land, noble visitors traveled from distant cities hoping to meet her. Many believed she was the most beautiful woman in all of Japan. But Kaguya rarely smiled the way she once had beside the river and bamboo fields. Inside the grand house filled with golden light and expensive fabrics, she quietly missed the peaceful life she once lived as a simple village girl. One calm night beside the river, Takumi found Kaguya staring silently at the reflection of the full moon. The water moved gently while cold night wind drifted through the trees. For a long time, neither of them spoke. And then Takumi finally asked the question he had carried in his heart for many months. Why do you always look so sad when the moon appears? Kaguya lowered her eyes quietly. But she did not answer. As news of Kaguya's beauty spread, a young nobleman named Prince Haruto arrived from the capital. Unlike the others, the prince approached her with respect rather than arrogance. Beneath the red leaves of autumn, he listened carefully to her thoughts, her silence, and her sadness. And though he admired her deeply, even he could feel the invisible distance between Kaguya and the world around her. As though her spirit already belonged to somewhere beyond Earth itself. One evening beneath glowing lanterns, Prince Haruto spoke honestly about his feelings. He wished for Kaguya to remain beside him forever. But while the lantern light reflected beautifully across the garden, Kaguya's eyes filled only with sorrow. Because no matter how deeply she cared for the people around her, she knew her time on Earth was slowly disappearing. Late one cold night, Kaguya stood alone beside the bamboo forest beneath an enormous glowing moon. Tears rolled softly down her face while silver light covered the silent countryside. For the first time, she whispered the truth into the night. She did not come from Earth. Long ago, she had been sent from the moon itself. And soon, the moon would come to take her back. During a stormy evening, Takumi searched desperately through the countryside after sensing something was wrong. Rain soaked the bamboo forest while thunder echoed across the mountains. And there, beneath the cold rain and moonlight, he finally found Kaguya standing alone. The sadness inside her eyes frightened him more than any storm ever could. Beside the glowing river during midnight, Kaguya finally revealed everything. She was not human. She had been sent from the moon long ago for reasons she herself barely remembered. And soon, celestial messengers would descend from the heavens to return her home forever. Takumi listened silently while cold wind moved across the water. Because deep inside his heart, he already knew. Nothing beautiful stays forever. That rainy evening, Kaguya sat beside Oba-san and Aji-san beneath the warm lantern light. The old couple held her hands tightly while tears filled their tired eyes. To them, Kaguya was never a celestial being. She was simply their daughter. The child who brought laughter into a quiet, lonely home. And now, they were being forced to lose her. After learning the truth, Prince Haruto refused to let the heavens take Kaguya away. He ordered guards to protect the countryside estate throughout the night. Torches burned beside the gates while soldiers watched the sky carefully beneath the full moon. But some things cannot be stopped by swords or human strength. And deep down, everyone already understood that. On her final night on Earth, Kaguya walked quietly beside Takumi through the peaceful countryside. Fireflies drifted above the rice fields while moonlight covered the narrow roads in silver light. The night felt painfully calm. As though the entire world wished to freeze those final moments forever. Neither of them wanted the journey to end. But dawn was coming. At midnight, the sky above the bamboo forest began glowing brighter than ever before. Silver mist descended softly from the heavens. And from within the light emerged tall celestial beings dressed in flowing white robes. The moon messengers had arrived. The countryside became completely silent. Even the wind itself seemed to disappear beneath their presence. Beneath the giant glowing moon, Kaguya embraced Oba-san, Aji-san, and Takumi one final time. Tears flowed freely through the cold night air. Takumi wanted to beg her to stay. The old couple wanted to hold her forever. But destiny moved quietly beyond human control. And slowly, Kaguya stepped toward the celestial light waiting above the fields. As silver light surrounded her body, Kaguya began floating gently toward the night sky. Her long black hair moved softly in the celestial wind while the countryside below slowly faded into darkness. And though she returned to the moon, part of her heart remained forever within the peaceful villages, rivers, and bamboo forests of Earth. The following morning, Takumi stood alone beside the silent bamboo forest watching the fading moon disappear behind the sunrise. The world looked exactly the same. The rivers still flowed. The wind still moved through the trees. But everything felt emptier than before. Because some people leave behind a silence that never truly disappears. Back inside the quiet countryside home, Oba-san and Aji-san continued living peacefully beneath warm lantern light. Sometimes during rainy evenings, they quietly unfolded Kaguya's old kimono and remembered her laughter. And though sadness remained inside the house, so did gratitude. Because for a short moment in their lives, they had experienced a miracle. Years later, Takumi shared the legend of Kaguya with village children during summer lantern festivals. The children listened with wonder beneath glowing paper lanterns while fireflies drifted through the warm night air. And through those stories, Kaguya's memory continued living across generations. Not as a princess from the moon, but as the gentle girl who once loved the quiet beauty of Earth. Far above the clouds and endless stars, Kaguya stood quietly upon the balcony of a glowing moon palace. Below her, Earth shined softly in the darkness. And somewhere deep inside her heart, memories of rivers, bamboo forests, lantern light, and peaceful countryside evenings still remained. Because no matter how far away she traveled, part of her soul would always belong to Earth.